from Cleveland's most accurate weather team. This is 19 First Alert Plus, sponsored by the man that makes them pay, Tim Misney.
Good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News, coming to you from our digital desk. Let's take a live look out in downtown Akron, in Akron. Beautiful blue skies, trying to peek through some of the clouds that are still moving out of the area. Beautiful day, 77 degrees out there. Let's welcome in 19 First Alert meteorologist Andy Chillian. Andy, turning into a beautiful day ahead of what's a really mixed bag kind of week.
It sure is, and we are looking at really the nice conditions for these next couple of days, and then we're going to see some rain, and then we're also going to be seeing the opportunity for some cooler temperatures as well. So we're going to have it all here these next several days. But as you were mentioning, it's really nice outside right now. In most areas, we're beginning to see those clouds and the areas of fog lift for the most part as we head into this afternoon. I want to show you outside downtown Cleveland. Plenty of blue sky from this picture, but as we take you just along the lakeshore, in fact, you can kind of see it in the distance back out here. It's still a bit foggy out there. Plenty of people out at Edgewater Beach, but it's right along the lake. We've got almost that marine layer that's just kept us foggy and low clouds and a little bit cooler too with that north breeze. So maybe not as many beachgoers as we might be seeing even just really less than a mile inland. It's one of those days that the lakeshore is just, the weather is totally different and you just step a few feet and you get that sun out. But nonetheless, not too bad overall. We do have that lake breeze setting in, so we've got downtown Burke right along the lake, 69 degrees with that north breeze. Meanwhile, Hopkins at 77, and that's where most inland areas are. So typical of spring, even this time of year. Really don't need to break it down, but either way, that's what we're seeing right now. If you're trying to enjoy a nice beach day, you may be a bit disappointed if you see it nice here in some areas, but you head to the lake and it's a little bit cooler. And you can see that Sandusky, for example, we've got a real strong northeast breeze. That's keeping temperatures in the mid-60s, but head farther south, Norwalk and Mansfield, we're touching 80 degrees right now, and the rest of us generally in the mid to upper 70s. So all in all, a nice day, especially where those clouds are breaking away. Meanwhile, First Alert Doppler not showing much. A quiet day is expected for us as we head throughout the rest of the evening. Not looking too bad either, as we will see those clouds continue to break, may hold on to that fog a bit longer along the lakeshore, but temperatures will be warm overall, and it's not looking all too bad. So things shaping up for a nice day today, but find out what's ahead for the rest of the week as we talk about those rain chances. I'll break that down here in just a bit.
Excellent. We'll take that 15-second pause and look at the rest of the week.
I've represented families just like yours for over 4 decades. Listen, if you need me, call me. You know I'll be there for you, and I'll make them pay. In the meantime, I'll keep an eye out for you.
Andy, a lot of rain icons on that 7-day. Walk us through it.
Yeah, I know it looks daunting when we put, chances for rain every day, and it's kind of hard not to with the pattern that's setting up, but it's not a washout, so do want to stress that. No one day is looking to be extremely damp. Tomorrow, don't want to rule out a stray shower. We've got an increase in humidity. Look at how warm it's going to be, 87, and it may very well get to close to 90 in a few spots. Feeling like close to 90 when you factor in that humidity. So if you're doing anything strenuous outside tomorrow, always remember those heat safety tips, take breaks, drink plenty of water, things like that. Wednesday storms look to be mainly during the afternoon hours. Right now, I'm not looking at any type of widespread severe weather, but our team will keep a close eye out on that as when you go from near 90 to back to the 70s, as you can see on Thursday, sometimes there's some active weather in between. I will say any main risk would be just some heavy rain, some downpours with those storms that are focused mainly afternoon and evening. Then Thursday and Friday, it's all about that scattered stuff. Remember what we saw yesterday afternoon. There was plenty of dry time, but you may have been enjoying some time outside and then you were cut under the showers. So that's what Thursday and Friday are looking like. Look at Friday afternoon though, 68, so much cooler to end off the work week and maybe for some kids the final week of school. Weekend, just isolated rain chances. Isolated means even less than scattered, so most hours will be dry, but don't want to rule out a passing shower or two. And then we look to be dry as we approach Monday as well. So all in all, I know the rain icons look a little bit annoying, but it's not going to be a washout on any one particular day. We'll still fit in some dry time, but the big picture picture is showing some much cooler weather moving in here towards the end of the week and even into the upcoming weekend. Normal high this time of year is now 76. By the end of the week, it'll be up to 77, 78. So we'll be right around, if not below that number, which is certainly different than what we have seen recently. And just a reminder for you, of course, Tuesday and Thursday evening, we have the Cleveland Monsters at home at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Tomorrow should be fine for that. Thursday, maybe a storm or two to dodge with travel, but either way, that's what we're looking at, Dan.
Interesting week, Andy. 87 all the way down to 68.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big shift.
For sure, yeah. And of course, we can get kind of it all this time of year. Obviously, we've already seen our first 90-degree day back in May. We'll get close to that on Tuesday, but then you can have these cooler patterns setting in, and that may end up being what we see into the middle of the month. In fact, our meteorologist Jeff Tanchak will talk more about that on First Alert Focus this evening, potentially a pattern shift so that what we have seen recently, which has been this big heat ridge in the east, may end up becoming one of those cooler troughs of low pressure that make us a little bit cooler. So he'll talk more about that, but we could be very well seeing that over the next couple of weeks. Not going to be real cold. Obviously, this time of year it works in our favor now that we're in June. We're not talking about any type of Arctic blast like we would be in winter, but if you see a lot more cooler days in June compared to what we've seen recently, don't be surprised.
Excellent. 19 First Alert meteorologist Andy Chillian, thanks for checking in.
All right, thanks, Dan.
All right,
Appreciate
take care. And as Andy was saying, First Alert Focus, the only station in the market that has an entire half an hour dedicated to weather. Not just the weather that's happening now and not just the weather in Northeast Ohio. It's really a big picture show. It's really impressive the amount of work our weather team puts into that show every single night. If you have a kid that's into science and weather, this is a must watch. Monday through Friday, 7:30 on our sister station WUAB. If we have any other breaking news, it'll be here on our digital platforms. Otherwise, look for our 3.5 hours of news to start on Channel 19 in just about a half an hour. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Have a great afternoon.
19 News is everywhere. Download our CTV apps and follow us on social media